Yo, what's going on, guys? Bot Mentality here with a Bitcoin chart analysis for you. And today is September 4th of 2018. And guys, we're going to go ahead and jump into this. And wow, have we seen some bullish strength that was much needed in this market. You know, after coming back and consolidating there for a while around that 6,000, 6,500 level, we were finally able to curl up, and now we're heading towards that very much anticipated, very much talked about 7,561.8 fib level. And so what I want to go ahead and talk about for this one is just how to prepare yourself for when the music stops. And what I mean by that is, you know, if you're playing musical chairs, you don't want to be left, you know, when the music stops, you don't want to be the person without a chair, essentially. So in this situation, we've seen very, very consistent higher lows on Bitcoin. It's very apparent here on the 4-hour. If you just look at how we trended above that 12 EMA level and also the 26 through here, just the purple and orange lines there, we've trended very nicely above those. You know, through the beginning of this is in August right here. So, you know, the beginning of the August was a little bit rough. We pulled back through that, but since then we've been trending very strongly on that. And you know, on the daily chart, we haven't seen such a strong, consistent daily uptrend in a while, guys. Maybe since back here in April, right? That's similar. One thing I will say is the last time we reached this price level, if you just draw a line here on the daily, you know, here it took like what, you know, 6 days, 7 days, in order for us to, let's see, it took 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say 5 days, you know, with a huge short covering parabolic move up to that 7,500 area. And this time it took us, you know, nearly twice that amount of time in order to get back to that same price. So the question is the fact that it took us longer than before, is that a sign of, you know, heavy selling pressure? Is it a sign of a lack of you know, ascending bullish volume that we saw previously back here? Is that why it took us so long to get this level? Or is that a bearish sign? Or is it a sign that we're establishing more support on the way down for when we do pull back, and this is the way it should be, not the parabolic? And so definitely my perspective on this action is great price action. This slow and steady increase is definitely a lot better than doing it in, you know, within a couple days and then having to give back those gains because we weren't able to establish strong support on the way up. So I do think that the fact that we've been trending for so long, you know, along these price levels, this is a bullish sign. And so as a result, I am looking back at the, you know, previous pivot points to look for opportunities in order to get long on the retracement. So let's talk about right now. So the first thing, of course, I've talked about it on prior videos, the 7,500 level, right? Yeah, mark that roughly right there. That has been a previous term for resistance. You know, bounced off it here, bounced above it here, broke down and saw an increase of bear volume as soon as we broke through that 7,500. And we came back up here, we consolidated right under that 7,500 level. Again, this is definitely, you know, a psychological point. It's very important, and a lot of traders are focused on it. So as we've been seeing this steady uptrend, and jump down here to the 1-hour, again, we've just been working to get through this level. So now let's say, for example, let's say we do parabolic through it. We finally get through that 7,500. Fantastic. You know, where's our next resistance? Where are we going to stop after that? After the 7.5, honestly, I wouldn't even see too much resistance until the 7.75. We've used 7,700, 7,750. We've seen a lot of resistance back in the past at those price levels. Let's say what happens if the music stops, right? And we do see a trend break here with this uptrend finally makes 4-hour lower highs and lower lows, which we have not been able to do yet. What happens when we have the 12 exponential moving average cross over the 26 and head to the downside? What happens then? So in that situation, the main focus of support I'd be looking for here back on the daily, if we jump to that, the main level of support I'm going to be looking for is right here, essentially where we crossed over initially when the 12 crossed back over the 26 to the upside, which was a bullish indicator. We saw that pullback. The bottom of that wick there was a low of 6,800. Now I wouldn't really like to see it drop below 7,000, but you should definitely include this wick in your range, right? So over that cross, right, we could fall back and hopefully we'll land right there on the 26 exponential moving average. That's the orange line there. Hopefully we do pull back and land on that, in addition to this previous pivot low. So the zone I'd be focused on would be the bottom of the body of the candle here, and that line is essentially, let's just say 7,000. I'll be focused for a higher low either between 7,000, and I'll also draw it at between 6,800. So this zone is where I'll be looking for us to retrace to. In addition to this zone right here, one thing you need to pay attention to on the daily chart is the fact that if we were to delete all these lines, I talked in previous videos about the 61.8 fib level. I'll go ahead and draw that here for you guys. all right, on this downtrend, you'll see we're approaching that now, and we'll reject that 38.2 is also that $6,954 level. And if we draw the fibs on the current move we are on, let's say we reject where we're at right now, and we do see a pullback, draw it right there to the bottom of that wick, okay? What you're gonna see is that 61.8 aligns with the $6,839 level. And so that's why this blue zone, this light blue zone right here, that's my focus area. Essentially from the top of the wick here on August 29th to the bottom of the wick on August 30th. That's my scoop zone, essentially. And it depends on how much volume we see, how heavy the volume is, and how quickly we retrace. But I would expect us to start to see a slowdown of selling momentum, of bearish momentum, into that $7,000 area. 7,100 would be nice. But the music does have to stop sometimes, guys. We can't just continue on a straight grind unless we see some, significant bullish news that's able to curl us and, keep us going up on this level. Then I could potentially see that. But we have so much resistance and so many traders focus on that 7,500 level. I would expect a break above it to be heavily shorted if we even make it there, or we turn around now within the next day or so, or even next couple hours, and finally break our 4-hour higher high pattern and pull back. Now, I don't want you to think that this is terrible, right? That this is bad if we do turn around. But we will establish a higher low. So essentially, anywhere in this zone right here, let me go ahead and draw this for you guys. So anywhere in this zone, right, all the way down, back down, you could even say to the lows of 5,800. Any low we make in this area would be considered a higher low here on the daily, and would be a bullish sign that the buyers are moving up and stopping the, essentially thwarting the selling pressure to the downside. So it would be good depending on where we land in this zone. However, we don't know exactly how far we'll retrace, but I have pretty good confidence that it'll be over 6,800 and below 7,100. That's the zone I'm essentially going to be focused on for this retracement. So I said, I want to bring this video to you is be careful. Yes, we could break up, and see bullish volume surge and head through the 7,500, maybe hit 7.6. But the issue of the matter is it's not likely. Look how extended we are. Look how well we've done so far, how far we've moved. If we jump over to the Bitfinex longs, okay, we jump at the long chart on the 15-minute. I will say I love the fact that we were able to make a form a low here and see steady consolidation through the day, or accumulation, I should say, from the longs. If we jump to the hourly, you'll see really we haven't moved much at all, not compared to where we were just a few days ago, right? Up at these highs. So we look at that, you go to the shorts have hardly retraced. Yes, they could cover more and bring us down, or they're looking to make a higher low and continue to form up back to the 40,000 level. If this what's been fueling us, what's really been helping the long, fuel the longs on this this steady uptrend is this action right here, when the shorts are slowly covering over time. Notice as we're curling right here, the shorts are slowly stopping to cover. You look on the Bitfinex chart and notice how we sort of rounded here on the price action. You see what I'm saying? They are supporting the price a lot, and you need to keep that in mind and just be careful, guys. I don't want you guys to chase thinking that there'll be a huge parabolic all the way up. I think that if that was going to occur, it should have already happened by now. That's why I'm not currently long. If you caught one of these higher low dips, it's easy just to set a stop loss on the risk, essentially, or a trailing stop, right? And let the price go where it wants to go. But if you're sitting on the sidelines, I don't recommend entering now. It's better risk reward for you to pick a spot here, like I said, between the 7,100 and the 6,800, right? To pick that area and look to buy into there or scale into that zone, which is the most likely area to where we form a higher low. And that's pretty much what I wanted to point out for you guys. And one more thing one more discrepancy I'll show you is the fact that if you look here on the bottom of the chart on Bitfinex, you will see that we had a huge volume surge here on Bitcoin as we poked into that 7,400 level. And then look at the next volume surge was a lot weaker as we attempted that again, okay? If we jump to Coinbase and we look at that same time, if you notice here, this happened here on the 2nd of September, right there at 9. I'll jump over here to Coinbase and look at that here, the 2nd of September at 9. We had a lot less range and a lot smaller volume. That's because shorts were the ones who fueled that move. Shorts were what pushed us up that high, okay? And then the same thing here on that second pop. You see the volume surge right here, and that would have been at 12 there on the 4th, which was this push up here. Jump over here back to Coinbase. You'll see it looks like we had a little bit more volume here, as it appears on Coinbase, and then the same candle. So we didn't move as far, but you can see the larger discrepancy on that first parabolic. So shorts are playing a big part in the range in pushing us to these levels and their covers. So just continue to be careful, guys. I just want to make sure you're managing your risk to reward and always think one step ahead of the game. So right now, I hope Bitcoin goes higher, but I'm ready for it to go lower. I'm ready to get my orders in there and scoop that because I have a very high, belief that we will make a higher low in the daily between the range that I specified, and we'd be able to continue up and hopefully retest the 7,500 level with a higher point of reference for the bulls to go off of. And one last thing I forgot, guys. I'm sorry this video's been so all over the place. One last thing I wanted to talk about here was the fact that if you look back, we had two pivot highs here. Make this blue so you can see the arrow a lot better. We had two pivot highs here, and that just goes to show another indication that we have support there above that 6,800 level. So that's pretty much it. And yeah, that's all I got, guys. Just continue to keep an eye out. I'm looking for this momentum to turn around. If you're looking to get in, I would just say be patient. If it rips higher, fantastic. If not, then at least you'll get a good entry, but you won't have to deal with the stress of getting long and then it dumps on you and you're just irritated because we've had such a strong bullish trend so far and it just stops as soon as you get in. If you're already in, I recommend just incorporating a trailing stop. Let it go as far as it's going to go and protect yourself to the downside. And that's pretty much all I got for you right now, guys. Just want to take a look at that daily chart and let's see what Bitcoin does here at the 7,400 level. And again, my guys, my name is Bot Mentality. Continue to stay focused on learning to control your emotions and to trade like a machine. I'm out of here, guys. I will see you tomorrow, and you have a great rest of your day. Deuces.